Welcome to Malindi K Expeditions. Subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share it with your mates. We would love to have you aboard as we restore Malindi K to her former glory and we take off on adventures of a lifetime.
Wow, it's really coming down now. The wind is pretty fierce. This is our super water coming off the roof. So we are completely self-sufficient. Wow. I think I might get inside. View from the wheelhouse during the storm. Hopefully it's pretty much past us now. A little bit of hail, not too much. Just taking the old girl out for a run. Keep the engine going.
Yep, I know. I'm using this because we've only just put the bench on and none of the stove has all hooked up yet. I haven't even put the bench down yet, so that's why we're still using this. With the new frying pan.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
It goes underneath.
That's it.
Is that right?
Yep.
Do I need to wrap all this up or?
Go over. These big ones.
Ronnie, go.
Well done. No panicking. That's what we aim to do. No panicking. And she didn't panic, which is good.
Well done, Ronnie.
Roman.
Hey, what's that?
Don't worry.
I'm just doing the dishes
Just focus
so
on
we can
you.
have coffee.
So today the guys are working in the water tank and emptying the water out. because being a still boat, we're a little concerned about rust. And they're cleaning the water out and it's going to become a diesel tank. So here they are.
I think this is all from being in this marina.
Hi, Brent.
Hi.
Looks like a contortionist.
Yeah, loving it. Loving it. If I wasn't so fat, I'd get in there for you.
Guys, let's go.
Hi, Brent.
Hey,
What are you doing?
I'm eating my pear.
Nice little dark hidey hole. That side looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's so weird, just one side.
What's going on here, mate? is this the job of your life? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the best.
Can you explain to me what's going on?
Okay, so I want this to be a fuel tank. Bronwyn wanted it to be a water tank. 10,000 litres, and it's good for water.
Yeah.
But we can't have water in steel. Now, this was treated properly with tank guard storage, epoxy paint. See, it's beautiful, but obviously it hasn't been prepared properly. Okay, so you're getting bubbles everywhere. So I don't like water in steel. This has to be a fuel tank, and for the distances that we're going to be traveling, we need that diesel. So
Yeah.
it's going to be diesel. Okay.
Perfect.
So we'll probably put a 200 litre water tank on, and Bronwyn will have to have a 5-second shower.
What do you think about that, Bronnie?
No.
5-second showers.
Well, maybe we'll just have to get some extra tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fuel in there now. I reckon, mate.
Yeah, what a shit way. What a shit way to spend 4 or 5 hours. Anyway, it's all good.
Yeah, it's a mission.
I'll put some fuel in there now.
What's going on here, mate?
Just checking if there's any electrolysis, if I've got a current going. It looks like I have.
Basically, we've discovered an electrolysis problem affecting the steel hull. We had suspicions of this last time we hauled out below the waterline,
Other one.
and now finding bubbles in the paint while converting the water tank to become fuel storage. We believe this electrolysis is from stray currents from the marina. All the better reason to get out cruising as soon as possible.
Plug it back in.
Alright, we're going to double check that voltage on the mighty Black Pearl. It's made of houseboat. Yep. They're gonna vomit nor'wester.
Spirit.
Yeah.
What you doing, guys?
I'm drawing holes.
Just trying to We're making a new gasket for the lid of the tank that was once water and is now diesel. or will be diesel. Won't put diesel in it.
So what's that material you're using?
This is it's a gasket material. It's like a cork sort of stuff.
Nice.
It's expensive. Ashes are very thorough. Whole colour in her.
She's autistic.
Lovely. Okay, so we need two tits, and that should pop out beautiful like that.
There you go.
Ashes up. Do you wanna one punch or
Let me try.
do you wanna do another one?
Make sure you get right centre of it.
Another demo. Let me do another demo one.
It's got to be.
I'm not very good at hammering.
Actually,
Grab.
yeah, that's got it.
No, it'll come up into here. And hold it.
That is
flash. Go on. Hit it. Okay. That's it.
Hey!
So all you gotta do is hold it, put it there, hit it once.
Yeah, but I'm not
Yeah.
as strong as you, Dad.
You're strong.
See, it's not strong. It's just one hit.
And you've been hammering your whole life.
Des goes right through the ply.
Brent,
Yeah.
you want this has got to be.
Oh, yeah.
That was 3, Ash.
I know.
We probably need to wire brush this and put some.
Don't pull it. Don't rip it.
Oh, it's on
It's all torn the paint off.
Okay.
Right, I'll finish this welding.
I think I'm going to hit my fingers.
Does it matter if there's diesel going on that though?
What?
Are the paints?
No, we'll just put some.
I can cut.
So these are, in the engine room, these are the wing tanks. And we've just been making all these gaskets here for the hatches on them. And just cleaning up all around the edges with a wire wheel. We've got a welder plate on top of here. That's the inside of them. So these were used as water tanks, but we're converting them to diesel. So Malindi K will hold just over 21,000 litres of diesel. Enough to go around the world.
Got to weld a breather in this tank here. Just put this filler pipe in. Just got to weld a breather in there now. Got it. Cutting this out to go into the top of the breather on the tank. I've just welded that nipple on there, so the hose tail will go into there, and I've got to clean all this up yet, but it's all welded all nice and beautiful. So I've just got to cut this out now.
Alrighty, so this is the hatch on the old water tank that's now fuel tank that we were just making the gaskets for. So this is a little flapper disc. So not a grinding disc, but a flapper disc, just to clean up all this paint, any little bits of rust and all that sort of thing. Then we'll hit it with rust kill and then hit it with a primer. Let that dry before we put it down with the gasket. And we're using skill, some cheap shit that Desmond's bought. I think. Alright.
Do you want some goggles?
Need some power.
You're a bit green. That came out well.
Oh yeah.
Just spraying around this seal to see if there's any air escaping. Des is upstairs, he's pumping air in through the filler or the breather, he's keeping one shut. Just looking for any bubbling air because we're going to make sure this thing's sealed. It's very important. Alright, here we go. That looks easy to get, right?
No, it's not. So what we're going to do is I need to find out how much fuel we've got in these tanks. So I've got, what have I got in that one? That back one can hold 2,300 and there's 1,000 in each side of these, but I need to know.
That mess.
Yeah, there's shit everywhere in here. I need to know what fuel I've got on because we've got to, when we take the fuel on, we put the 10,000 up the front. I need another an area to put another 3,000 litres, so I'd like to be able to get it in the back here without utilising the engine room tanks because we haven't finished that yet, you know. So we start digging. These are all the treads, stair treads. We're going to sand all of those up. Beautiful. A lot of work on this. Yep. Right. Because we've got to put some fuel on, I got to know what we've got in here. So I need to get some angles and proper hose tails from here, but we've just rigged up this little quick measure here just to see what fuel's in this back tank, and then we'll do the same here. The measurements are there. We've just got to find out what we've got on there. So I'll just turn this on.
First time you've checked it.
See what happens. And by the looks of it, there's nothing in there.
That's handy. Let's do it.
Alright, so just for your reference, these copper lines are the fuel lines going to the tanks.
Yep.
2,300 litres at the back,
Somewhere in there.
1,000 on each side,
Yep.
and
Under that.
a keel tank. Okay, so whenever we want to transfer fuel, simply turn on the valve that you want to grab the fuel from, and then you go into the engine room, and then we grab the valves in there. All right, so come on, I'll show you. So this is that copper line coming in from those tanks at the back.
Yep.
Comes up into the transfer pump. Okay, and we have a 24 volt transfer pump and then a hand operated transfer pump. So what we're going to do now that we've turned that on at the back, we're going to select this on. We want to exit the fuel coming up into this line here. Now this is the delivery line. So that line now will go right around, comes up here into the day tanks, goes across there. Okay, make sure that valve's on and that valve's on, and then we can turn that pump on to see if we've got fuel coming in, okay?
Hey.
Right, before we start, I'll just check and see what we've got in the day tanks. So we're up about here. I'm pretty sure, and the sticker's missing, but I'm pretty sure there's 700 litres in each one of these tanks.
Yeah.
So I need to re-measure and put the tape back up here. But we'll just see how much we've got in here. And what I'm doing is I'll try and see if that back tank that's got 2,300 litres in has got any left in it, because it's not picking up on the sight glass.
Yep.
So let me turn this on. It's very noisy.
Righto.
Okay, just give you a bit of a rundown on what we've achieved today, which has been quite a fair bit. It's been nagging at me for a while, but we have got the breather pipe in and all of those in, all new. I've pressure tested these today. Oh, and down underneath there's the valves for the tanks. So I've pressure tested all of these tanks today, and there was no leaks. We didn't find any leaks at all. We're just cleaning it up. I just put that oil tank up there. This is going to be my clean oil storage tank. I'm just going to mount it there. Looks like a good spot. I've just got my hose hanging over it at the moment, but that'll be my oil. There's nearly, believe it or not, nearly 200 litres of oil. I can't believe it, but anyway, it is. So we just had a bit of a clean up in the engine room today. I love that drill press. And over on this side, so with the frame, the floor frame that's bolted on, it's welded on, you got angle that's welded up against the tank. Well, right here, there was some rust in behind the angle against the tank, and I didn't like it at all. So we had to cut that out. So we've cleaned that up. We've epoxy primed it. It's, I think about a mil that it's eaten in just in that spot there. The rest of it's all good. So I'll get a new piece of angle and weld that in, put the floor back down, and that should be done. That there is my pressure manifold for all of my fresh water. So every section of the vessel will have its own valve, so I can isolate any section anytime I want. And just up in the corner here, I haven't got any lights up in here yet, but we've just welded in a nipple up in the corner there and put a hose tail on. So that's all done. So it's been a pretty successful day, but I haven't pressure tested this tank yet because I want to get a couple of new valves. The valves for the tank are down in there. I've just put a bung in the smaller one, but the bigger one there I'm having a gate valve on, and I don't have a gate valve, so I'll go and get a gate valve, put that on, and then I'll pressure test this tank just to make sure it's okay. So yeah, it's been a fantastic day. We've achieved a lot. Brenton, myself, and Bronwyn, we've had a great day.
So, something interesting, I'll show you up here. So we're just cleaning up this area. This is the only bit that hasn't been painted, yeah?
Yeah, only bit that hasn't been painted.
So I don't know if you can see this up here. That's coral. Isn't it, mate? So that's coral from it being on the bottom for 3 weeks. Doesn't take long. Anyway, that's breathers down to this tank. So in this tight little corner, cleaning her up, but how funny is that?
That was
this tank. Oh, there it is. This tank needed a socket welded in. I welded that socket in this morning. Hoses for breathers. This is the only part of the boat that has not yet been painted. Everything else has been done, painted. There's this little bit of a corner here. It had an old hot water system in here. It was an old hot water system, heat exchanger. So we've got to paint that yet, but everything else has been painted. Now the next job is, now that we've got all of these new hatches on, we need to get underneath this floor here and check the valves that turn the fuel on. So what I'm probably going to do is replace the valves, put new ones in. So we're just about to lift up this floor, get rid of this old tank here and lift the floor up.
Alrighty, so down here to do a bit of painting today on these twin fuel tanks that we saw us prepping earlier. So the kill rust is all dried up, and I've just been mixing up some international 2-pack paint. That's it there, and we're gonna roll her on. You know, it feels good, don't you, mate?
Oh, good.
Right, so we got one crated 2-pack on all this, on these wing tanks. Just finish this other side over here with a little Jenny.
Righto, so plan today. Ended up, we're going to fuel the boat today. We got, I bought a heap of fuel. Good price, well below market value. So we're going to put it on today. So we've just been going through all of the tanks and making sure everything's right. So we've just put new sight glasses on. This is the 10,000 litre belly tank down in the front. We're just checking the sight glasses there. We just put a new sight glass on. New gaskets on all the hatches. New valves down here on both sides. So pressure tested the tanks. So this morning we're going to go and put this fuel on. So we're putting 13,500 litres on. So we won't fill up, we can hold 20,000 litres. I think we've got about 2,000 in the back tanks, but just with this front tank and the 2 wing tanks, we should be able to just take that 13,000 litres. I'm not sure what these wing tanks hold yet, but we've got the sight glasses there and we'll measure it as we go on. So that's the plan today, and because we're going to come out of the marina and go and fuel up, of course, there's a strong wind warning on. So we've just come up with a plan. We've got no bow thruster, so we're just going to do it all with ropes, aren't we?
Disconnecting the shore power and the water hose.
That's pretty important. They're not long enough to get all the way over the fuel wharf, are they?
No, definitely not.
You're not very excited about getting this fuel on, are you?
I've been waiting for this fuel for 3 months. All right. boat in a Renault. There's crap flying around us.
Okay. This one. Ropes off.
Just gonna, because there's a wind blowing us onto the wharf, just hang on a second. Because there's a wind blowing us onto the wharf, we're going to use this to push us out off the wharf. So as Brent tightens this up, I'll drive forward, it's going to bring us out around. So feed me out, Brent. Yeah, mate, just keep feeding me. Nothing's coming. Feed a little bit more. Okay, we'll lock it down there.
Very like all this was windy, mate.
Too much wind on it. It's coming around.
Yeah, it'll come around. Bow thrusters again. No, never cheaters, bow thrusters. Often through Mariners.
Yeah, she's coming out now.
Yeah, she is coming around quick. So we're going to come out sort of close to you, mate. But you've got a big fender there, so it'll be right.
Alright, Frank, there we go.
See you, mate. Oh, so about an hour or so.
upstairs now.
You picked some nice conditions today, mate. What do you reckon she's blowing?
Oh, it's good 30 knots.
Yeah.
No.
Same way we roll.
Yeah.
Revving.
This is the frantic helm changeover. Where's he gone? There he goes. That was a quick changeover.
How'd that go, you two?
Beautiful. First time, well, second time.
Yay! Okay, just take first. You feel the air coming out?
Sent in a B double this morning. We're going to unload some fuel and then head here.
Should we go down and check?
Well, it's not like the check on this one because it's going in the hull.
Yeah.
It's blowing a bit out there. Thanks for watching this episode. Give us a like, leave a comment, or share it with your mates. This is a free way to help us keep the dream alive.